Absolutely.
Oh, my lips love you.
Computer stuff. All right, everybody. Hello there. Welcome to the Under the Helmet podcast. Woo!
Hey,
We got a special
hi,
guest for you
hi,
guys tonight. We got the boys from 1313. Say hello. Say hello.
Here.
Ow.
Hello.
Hey, y'all.
Can't see without my
Seeing that
glasses.
thing.
Can't see either. There we go.
Yeah. So before anybody asks, Eli is right now because of the fact that he is off pursuing a bounty. So he might later. We don't know. We'll keep you updated. He has the link to get in.
He off chasing that bag.
Oh, so we got Ben already in the chat. He's off chasing that bounty. He's bringing it home, bringing home the bounty. So what's up, guys?
Nothing much. You know, another day, another dollar. You know, we out here enjoying life.
You know it.
Happy tomorrow's Friday. I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely. Weekend. Yeah.
Ain't that right? Ain't that right? It has been a week with the Book of Boba Fett finale. That definitely put me in the right mood. Put me in the right mood for the rest of the week. Much needed.
We definitely
Looking forward
had a
to
lot
it,
to
guys.
say about the finale. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to see your guys' video that drops talking about itching.
Yeah.
We did our review episode. I think we did our review episode last night. So for those of you who haven't seen that, definitely go check it out. It was a lot of fun. And bully me for biting forks in the comments. Anyway, so I figured I'd start off with kind of a little.
Rancors be biting on Mando's head out.
Exactly. So I figured we'd start off with a little icebreaker. So I said I thought of this morning. I said pick your Star Wars dream team to fulfill a high stakes heist. Who would you and what would you steal? So you've got I think 1, 4, 5, 6 categories to fill. You have a pilot. You got to have your muscle. Somebody who's a strategist. Your gunslinger. Force wielder and a droid.
You gotta write that
Who would you
down.
guys
Right,
do?
right.
Who
Yeah,
would you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
pick?
yeah, yeah.
Just write down the categories and I'll just think of something.
Yeah, so there's pilot, muscle,
strategist,
strategist,
gunslinger,
Can
droid,
you
and
spell
force
one word?
I accidentally misspelled muscle and now it says Michael. It says droid and force wielder.
Just choose your Michael. to be Michael.
Yeah, who's your guys' Michael?
Michael from X and Around.
Absolutely. I
Michael,
mean,
my old roommate.
that's all you really need.
Mhm.
Michael is all you need to the heist. He would solo the heist.
Mhm. All right,
Everyone
so
else
here's
is just
here-
emotional support.
I think I got my list already. I got my list already. I'm gonna go from the bottom
All
to
right.
the
Let
top.
me
Let
hear
me hit you with it. Let me hit you with it. First of all, force
All right, hit
wielder,
me with it.
Asajj Ventress.
Ooh.
That's a good choice because she's also a bounty hunter.
Okay.
She's in the guild. All I gotta say is she would do a really good job filling that role. Okay. The droid. I know I've been hating on him, but for the sake of seeing him actually do something for once in Star Wars, I'm gonna go with Forlom. All right, because Forlom
Hey.
genuinely trash character, if I'm being honest with you, but I would like to see him actually function. So I'm hoping he's good. I'm going to take a gamble on Forlom, all right? Gunslinger, Cad Bane. That's an obvious
down for
choice.
that.
He's faster than everybody. So got to go with Cad Bane.
All right.
The strategist, all right? Just going to come right out the gate, take a complete gamble once again on another completely trash L character in Star Wars. We're gonna go with Zuckuss for the strategist, okay? We're hoping with those big eyes that my
Zuckuss?
man can like see all that's happening, like the Sauron of the team, okay? All right.
The all-seeing eye.
Next,
Okay.
we're going with the muscle. Obviously, we're going with Kersantin. I think you'd be stupid to go with anybody
Yeah.
else.
No, I got better choices
I got
already.
better choices.
I got
already.
better
It's better to.
choices
It's okay to be
already.
wrong. Don't worry
It's
about
okay
it.
to be
Uh-oh.
wrong. Your list is about to be hella wrong in a minute.
Oh, I got Zuckus and Forlom, and because we've
I-
never seen them do anything, they could be infinitely powerful. Just saying. But anyway, pilot. If I'm being honest, probably just going to use a cop out and use Boba Fett as my pilot because my man just flies the Slave One, has a nice arsenal
You
of
mean the
weapons.
fire spray? The
gunship?
fire spray
The
gunship.
fire spray gunship, Tom. Watch it.
Yeah,
It's
whoa
so
there,
fun.
whoa there, buddy.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Boba Fett, be the pilot, like he did in season 2 of Mando. He was the pilot.
I will be pilot.
That's my team. That's my team again.
He was-
Totally
he was a
gambling
taxi driver.
on Forlom and Zuckus, but we'll see what happens.
Mhm.
It might pay off. They might pay off.
Might pay off.
Oh.
All right, who's going to go next?
You want to go?
I'll go next. My pilot, Anakin Skywalker, best pilot in the galaxy, pulling up on your block. Plus, I'm not counting him as my force wielder. I'm cheating. That's because I'm cool. My
No,
muscle,
They're separate category. Separate category.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My muscle, I'm going with Wrecker. Wrecker solos. He picks up gunships with one hand and then goes boom and blows things up. So I'm going with Wrecker. Gunslinger, none other than Cobb Vanth. No way that
Ooh.
no. I feel although Cad Bane beat him out, that man got his fastest draw on
The
Tatooine.
corn cob marshal himself.
The corn cob marshal himself with armor. I'm gonna stick with armor legacy.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Cobb
fair.
Vanth with armor. So he's
Hey,
cool.
valid,
A droid.
valid. I'm down for that.
Droid, I'm selecting BD1. Man's got the whole scomp link. He's got the electro charge. He got the ability to be used as a little zip line. Best droid in Star Wars. Nobody can change my mind.
Forlom absolutely obliterates BD1.
Oh, shut
Just
up. Strategist, you already know we're picking Thrawn. Nobody's smarter than that man in this entire galaxy.
That's fine.
Plans
Galaxy
foolproof.
brain.
I could choose Size Snoodles and like Zuckus as my team, and as long as I got Thrawn on my side, we're gonna win. So we're gonna win. And then my force wielder.
Yeah, you're gonna retrieve achieve your goals.
Mhm. Force wielder.
All right, now who would your force wielder be?
That is a good question. Can I choose Legends characters?
Go for it.
Fell about to pull some hot trash out the bin.
He about to say. I know what you about to say.
Jacob is great.
I'm not okay. Now that Tommy knows I'm about to pull up Star Killer, how about we pull up Kanan Jarrus? We'll pull up Kanan. Kanan
That's
is a
fair.
wise man. He'll be the head on the shoulders of the team as well as being our force wielder. That's my team for the heist.
All right, so pre or post blind Kanan?
Post blind because he's
Before
wise.
or after he goes.
Plus, he
Okay,
can just
I'm down
sacrifice
for that.
himself if we need to, and then he gets his sight back.
Down. Gotta have your cannon fodder wielder.
All I gotta say, all your teams are trash. You're taking mass L's. All I'm gonna say right now,
Jackson's like, my pilot is Jango Fett, my gunslinger is Jango Fett, my
No,
muscle is
no.
Jango Fett.
trash, trash, trash. All right, let me get into it. Going top down. Number one, the pilot. I'm
All
gonna
right.
need someone dependable. I'm gonna need someone who can get the job done. We are resurrecting the clone pilot who flew the Bad Batch into the canyon in Season 7. He will pilot my team. He will become more cannon fodder. Because you know what? If he dies, doesn't matter anyway. He's a nameless clone.
You're a brick already. I have Anakin as my pilot.
Muscle. Y'all can't even
Absolutely
compete with this. I'm going
goaded.
Jexter. This fella's got 4 arms. Fella, what you gonna do when he pull it up? What you gonna do? He's gonna be like, oh, just toss it around.
Amino Saber Dart.
So
Get done.
I think you kind of implied Dexter has like a past. He just decided to be a cook to like
That's
retire.
facts.
We
That's
don't have
facts.
backstory stuff.
Nah,
He's
he
Dexter
just
on steroids.
he just got his house foreclosed on, and that's why he runs the restaurant.
He's got one shirt.
He's got one.
He's got
It's a
one
side
shirt.
hustle.
Gunslinger, goated choice.
Well-
They both skipped over it. We need Greedo. He shot first. He's the quickest draw ever. Go. That's why he's gonna be essential for my team. He'll be whip kabow, wabow. See, he clearly shot first before Han. For my droid, you already know the vibe.
Would
No
you-
cat,
would
no
you
kizzy.
pick
We
your
go with the Gonk droid. We go with Gonky specifically from the Bad Batch.
Who is your
I
force
think
Damn,
that was
fielder?
my
definitely
somebody.
automatically.
Gonky, absolutely
I
get
don't
it.
think. I don't
My
think
force
my-
fielder, this is what seals the deal. We are going to go with Bail Organa's son from Revenge of the Sith. Clearly, he can hold himself against clone troopers.
Like 2 of them until the third one
Hey,
shows up.
that's why he got the gunslinger to back him up. Greedo gonna shoot first to get him. You got Dexter, bro. He's gonna be invincible. My team is literally the greatest, and y'all cannot compete with me right
Dude, this
now.
is what it's like the Monstars versus like the Toon Squad.
I'm just saying.
All right,
I have
who
the
would
best-
you pick for your strategist?
for my who?
Who's gonna orchestrate your brilliant plan?
Oh
Your
crap, Jacob!
strategist?
My strategist. Dang, hold on. You gotta give me a second.
Babu Frick. Gonna pull up Babu.
Hey!
I need to take a look. Give me a minute. I need to be consulting my wisdom for a second.
Ooh.
On the Hall of Helmets.
General Veers. Bring the Star Destroyer too close out of hyperspace and got gadded for it. You know what? Maybe I'll give him a second chance.
Dang. Okay. All right. I think my list pales in comparison to yours, dude. I don't think I'm gonna stand a chance. So I wrote this earlier today. I am a little and you can get a couple of one. So pilot, I have to agree with Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Best star pilot in the galaxy. I'm undisputed.
Against unnamed clone.
Not to mention spinning. That's a good trick.
Yeah.
Tremendously true.
Yeah, unnamed clone pilot. But I mean, to be fair, Anakin knows how to spin. Can your clone pilot spin? He doesn't even know the good trick.
I mean, he can spin into the
All right,
ground.
and fair. But after being shot down, but he doesn't survive. He can survive. Also, I also picked one of your guys's. I said Black Chrysanthemum as well.
Okay,
nobody's
okay,
gonna
that's
pick
a good choice.
Not Dexter, though.
Chrysanthemum.
Not
No,
Dexter, though.
I think Dexter and Chrysanthemum, if they fought, it'd be a lot of bloodshed that day. Strategist, I picked Captain Rex.
Yeah.
Captain Rex
Gotta
is a
go
good
with the
one.
boy. Rex has the experience. Rex has the experience. He's got the know-how. I put my faith in Rex. Gunslinger, picking my queen, the one I simped for more than anyone, Fennec Shand, because not only is she a beast with that with y'all looking at me funny. Y'all saw the ending of Boba Fett, how she squad wiped that room without even making her presence known.
I'm gonna keep it $150 with you, Chief. The reason
You
why
know,
we look at you funny
Cassian-
sometimes is because your audio just straight cuts out for 5 minutes.
Oh, yikes! That bad internet though.
Oh, that's okay,
How-
dude.
How are we on your end? Is it fine on your end?
Yeah, I'm hearing you guys pretty well. So
Okay. As long
The
as it's good
only
on your
time
end.
that
'cause
was when,
that's the part that's going up on YouTube.
Yeah. For some reason, my internet decided to not like me today, even though it works. I have like one of the best plans for what they offer. So shout out to Home Telecom, absolutely botching my service. It's very cool. But yeah, Fennec Shand by far would be my gunslinger. She is simply built different. She's a master assassin. She doesn't even have to like show up in the street. She's already sniping you down. Obi-Sean Kenobi said 1330 audio good. Dylan is super choppy. Hey, sorry about that, guys. Hopefully my internet will kind of balance out. I don't know why. It's literally just me. Like it's my computer and my phone on
You're
this,
good, dude.
like
You're fine,
service
boss. No worries.
single tier. So droid R2, gotta go with the classic.
No,
That's
Gotta
fair,
Go with
that's
best
fair.
boy R2D2. Because R2 can get in and out of any situation. Like he's the man.
Mm-hmm.
And then Force Wielder, I'm going with Obi-Wan.
That's fair.
Gotta
That's a good one.
go with Kenobi. Gotta go with
Darth
Kenobi.
Banks might be better.
Darth Bane.
I mean, yeah, Darth Bane is better. So like, you guys listen to Lightsaber Radio as well?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
actually haven't.
so they were
Yeah, we're
talking
actually
about last
recording.
night. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're recording with them on
Yeah.
Sunday, actually.
Sweet, that's awesome. So look to that, everybody. Go check them out. And while we're here, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to us and the 1313 podcast. What?
Correct.
At 20 subscribers. What cringe? Hey, guys, you can call us to action and don't forget, anybody who's new to the 1313 channel, at 20 subscribers, we'll do a plot significant face reveal.
Ooh.
Find
That's
whom.
pretty exciting.
One of these.
That is exciting, yeah. So we've decided that's what we're gonna do to try to get people to come subscribe. So come subscribe, join our live show. We have fun. Hopefully, I'll fix my internet. We'll see.
Perhaps.
I'll get him on the phone and be like, actually,
You're gonna call him and it's gonna be some
Any
dude that's not
dude.
even in the United States. Hello, how can I help you today?
Hello, your internet is down.
What
If
do
I
you
was
mean
not
your
on
internet is
computer,
slow? You
would
pay
be
for
dying.
yeah. No, the best is whenever you call and you the automated one you call like they open at 8, so you call at 8 and you get
Mhm.
we are not open until 8 a.m. It's like it's 8:05. Please call back later. Goodbye. Hangs up.
Yeah. Please call
Hangs up. Automatically. Okay, so Ben in chat was asking what are the categories again? The category is pilot, muscle, strategy, gunslinger, droid, and force wielder. And for you guys, what second part of the question? What would you steal? What would you do on your heist?
Oh crap, that's right. I gotta say something good.
Padme's heart.
Bro, what?
Dang, you don't have to fight your
No.
pilot, man. You don't have to fight your pilot. Ben Taylor, thank you for the subscribe, man. Very cool.
Hey, shouts out Ben Taylor.
Shouts out the homie. You already know the
homie, the
vibe.
big
You already know
homie.
what's up.
I don't know what I would steal. Maybe like 7 tons of coaxium. If we feeling it.
Feeling,
I know what I'd
feeling
be
reckless.
All right, what
I'd
are
be
you
stealing
You stealing?
mass amounts of dunium.
Oh yeah.
Dunium is a mad
Dunium.
expensive metal in Star Wars. If you've read the Thrawn novels,
Mhm.
you would know that dunium is like super expensive and a super strong, durable material.
If you don't know what dunium is, it's what they use. It's the outer sheeting of most Star Destroyers and starships made for battle. That's what they use.
Isn't it also on the Death Star?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious.
Nice.
If I
nice.
had to
I
steal
actually
one
did not
thing-
know that. I don't know how to read.
My squad is so goated, so I gotta choose a goated item to get. I was kind of thinking, since no one's watching, that's just Satine's body. You already know the vibe. You know what? If I could have this at any point, I just choose it to be, preferably still during the Clone Wars period.
Stop! Stop! No!
So,
I don't even want to know what you're gonna do with it. Why do you want to know,
Yeah.
Jackson? Elaborate.
To put in carpet.
No.
To keep as a decoration.
I'm not gonna comment.
What is wrong with you?
So
We're never getting a contract with Disney now.
Mother.
yeah. Yeah, all our chances for getting Grace are gone.
Oh my goodness. That
Absolutely.
is
All right. Ben Taylor says steal Spice. Actually, no, he's gonna steal the dark saber. Okay, welcome to illegitimate rule. So you may steal the saber, but are you worthy of it? Are you besting the current owner in combat, Ben? Riddle me that.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Don't want to get the curse.
And then, yep, you're gonna get cursed. You're gonna get cursed out.
He's the devil.
Sean Kenobi says stealing all the existing Beskar.
Ooh, that's a good one.
What you gonna do with it?
What are you
There's
gonna
not just a lot of best guy. What you gonna do with it?
Make a house. Make
exactly?
a
What are you gonna do with it?
make some.
What are you
Gucci
forging?
We get in-ground
With all that
Beskar
Beskar.
pool.
I'm basically gonna open the equivalent of a Louis Vuitton
He's gonna-
store in Star Wars and just sell Beskar bust downs to everybody that walks in.
He's gonna be bust down chain with Beskar.
The Beskar Cuban links.
Obi Sean Kenobi, more like Obi Drip Kenobi.
Hey yo! Oh my goodness.
All right, so we'll move on to the. He said, "I'm gonna kill them on the spot and take over Mandalore." All right, Ben, you have fun with that. Have fun ruling Mandalore. I would simply not do that.
Obi-Wan Kenobi says he's gonna build a Beskar Jackson-proof casket for Satine.
That ain't gonna stop me. My team impervious.
You know what?
Look at that smirk.
Oh, uh-oh.
Who's gonna stop
He's
me?
gonna steal the
Who's gonna
Beskar
stop
spear from Mando and just be like,
This is why we can't have anything
Bruh.
nice.
"Bruh is right."
Oh my goodness.
Certified bruh moment.
That's
Absolutely, for sure. So another topic I wanted to ask. Let's kind of switch up a little bit. Serious question. So
Okay.
there's so many moments in Star Wars that sort of define the franchise for different people. So I was gonna ask you guys, what are like your definitive Star Wars moments? So like when you think Star Wars, or if you think the Clone Wars, like what would you think of?
When I think Star Wars, I think of three main scenes. I think of Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting on Mustafar. I think of the first Death Star run in Episode 4, and I think of Luke Skywalker versus Darth Vader on Bespin. Those are my like key scenes for like the cinematic Star Wars that I always think of when I think Star Wars. Like if we're just talking movies. If we're talking Clone Wars, then it's got to be Ahsoka versus Maul in Season 7, just because that was a phenomenal shot, and I loved it.
That is nice. I don't know.
That was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I guess for myself, if I had to choose one though, to honestly say, sorry, if I had to choose one, it would definitely be Anakin and Obi-Wan. Anakin and Obi-Wan's like fight on Mustafar. Like for me, that's like such a pivotal part of the movie and understanding the character of Anakin, but also with like his relationship with Obi-Wan. I relate to it a lot because Jacob and I are very close brothers.
We fight all the time on burning planets.
Not exactly, but no, I mean, that's the scene that's always resonated with me because of Jacob specifically. So that's why like Episode 3 is my favorite movie, and that's what I think of when I think of Star Wars.
I think of fighting with my brother. That's what I think of.
Really?
No,
That's kind of,
I was making fun of you.
man.
I think for me, when I think of Star Wars, I think of like a lot of the most iconic fights, but also like a lot of like the conversations that are had. Like when I think Star Wars, I think Yoda talking to Luke in The Empire Strikes Back and in The Last Jedi. I think of the conversation between Yoda and Anakin in the prequels about Anakin's dreams. Like I think about the conversation that Obi-Wan has with Anakin after he defeats him on Mustafar. There are all these conversations that just have to do with relationships, and they have to do with like just very strong emotions, and that's what I think puts Star Wars apart from like other forms of fantasy or sci-fi or other franchises, is the deep emotional connection that you can have with the characters and how relatable they are. Whereas it's not just like a big, ooh, cool space fight with cool effects.
Mm-hmm.
But it is also a cool space fight with cool effects.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think my top three, like when I think Star Wars, these are all original trilogy moments, even though I'm a huge fan of the prequels, Clone Wars, Rebels. When it comes to the like Star Wars, like three scenes really stick out to me from each of the original trilogy. So first one is going to be the binary sunset, where Luke just looks out and just stares at the sunset. Just absolutely, John Williams cranked the score up to like 10,000. Absolutely nailed that scene and just made that scene something that always resonated with me. So I grew up in a very small town, and it's nothing like Tatooine, but the vibe was very similar of just like, man, I want to get out of here. Like I want to go and like go on an adventure and just like get out of this small place, because like I don't want to spend the rest of my life here. And the way things were looking, so I was like, man, I'm gonna be here forever. You know, I always joked with my friends that I was a reluctant townie. Like I never wanted to be, but I just kind of was due to circumstance. And finally, I just recently was able to move out of that small town. So to have that moment of like, it was emotional. So I go back and I watch that scene with that sort of personal with Luke of just like, dang, that was me, and just relating with that scene so much. And then moving to Empire Strikes Back, the scene where Luke first meets Yoda and Yoda's like messing with his head. You know, he shows up and he's like, "Rookie, found someone you'd have." I'd say, like that just reminds me so much of somebody who was really really big into my life was my grandfather. So I sort of associate like how he talked and like his like goofy little mannerisms. Like that was a lot how my grandfather acted, and he was a very funny, very like jovial, lighthearted man. So seeing those scenes, I even like to this day kind of tear up, just like thinking of him and thinking of those scenes. And then Return of the Jedi would be Luke versus Vader at like the turning point where Vader like mentions Leia, and Luke just goes absolutely like ballistic on Vader. That was just such a huge moment for me, because you feel the raw emotion in that scene. And just, I mean, I've got a sister as well, so just I knew if somebody would talk like that about me, how I would react. So it just means like the world to me to see those scenes and to see those moments. I know that's kind of a little bit heavier, but that to me is like the soul of Star Wars. And then also you've got like funnier, sillier moments of like, you know, Anakin ranting about how he doesn't like sand, and any scene with Watto in it from episode 1. Like I was just with my mom before I got on here, and we were talking about like I said something about like, well, you don't need to work all the time, and I was just like, mind tricks don't work on me, only money. And just, only money. So to just have no money, no parts, no deal. It's just absolutely means just so much to me, and that sort of ingrained for as long as I can remember. It's just amazing to see that, and to have that personal connection is just, it's huge.
Mm-hmm. I definitely feel like Star Wars does a really good job at obviously enticing its viewers with very like emotional things and things that are so relatable to like their lives, no matter like where you are and whatnot. And that's what makes them so iconic.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, the sequels also to a less degree. I'm not the biggest sequel fan, but I'm a big proponent of, if you don't like a movie, just don't watch it.
Yep.
You don't need to
Yep.
make like a 6+ hour breakdown video of like nitpicking every flaw of a movie that you didn't like. Like, bro, go outside and touch some grass for real. Not calling anyone out, but calling you out. Like it's a little ridiculous. Some of the like voice their disdain for me instead of simply just saying, it wasn't for me. Like, and that kind of happened with the Book of Boba Fett as well, where people were just like so vitriolic over the silliest of things, and I was just like, just watch the show. Like, just enjoy the experience. Like perfect. No. Do I have my moments where I'm just like, yeah, that's a little dumb. But I mean, Star Wars is also a little dumb. Like, it's and to directly quote George Lucas, it's a movie about space wizards for 12-year-olds. Like, the fact that we can still find all that meaning and find that, you know, that love, that passion inside of all that, even as, you know, all of us are like young adults. So as young adults, finding that thing and, you know, taking those morals and values and bringing them into the real world is huge.
Mm.
You know, it's a whole different world.
It's very touching. I won't lie to you. It's very touching.
So what did you
Yeah,
think
I get
of
a
the
little
Book of
deep.
Boba?
What I think of the Book of Boba Fett? I think it was overall. I would rate the series. I'd probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. Was it the best thing ever? No, but I thoroughly enjoyed every episode I watched. Like, I personally really loved the flashbacks with the Tusk. I know some people weren't a big fan of that. I loved it. I thought it was so cool to get to see a different culture and to see how, you know, how misunderstood the Tuskens were. Like, there's also another book that does this. So, the book Kenobi by John Jackson Miller, my favorite Star Wars book and my favorite book, kind of goes into the Tusken culture as well with some of the characters in the book. And it's just, it's so fun. It's great. It's great learning about different cultures and how, you know, everything goes differently. And I just really, I liked it, and I liked the show. So, was it perfect? No. Was the street racing scene with the mods and the Major Domo a little silly, a little goofy? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, one bad scene doesn't ruin a movie, and one bad chase doesn't ruin a show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? You guys kind of are going to go into more detail, but just kind of brief thoughts on what you thought.
As for that last episode, I was like, on it. It was the only episode of the entire series I was just kind of like, it was okay at best for me personally. I think the entire rest of the show was a banger. I feel like for me, and to compare it to Marvel, it kind of falls like in that space like where Falcon and the Winter Soldier came for me. I liked it, but I'm not gonna like be like this is one of my favorite things of Star Wars ever. I really enjoyed it though for like what it was.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. In my opinion, I would put it up there with The Mandalorian, Clone Wars, and Rebels. In my opinion, it's just another really good Star Wars show that we got, and I feel like there's a whole lot of rewatchability with it as well. And I do plan on rewatching it soon.
Yeah, that's similarly. I feel that
Absolutely.
way. I think of the show as like something that felt like Star Wars animation, but in live action.
Yeah.
It gave me the same kind of vibes. And something that I did want to point out about the show too is there was a lot of moments in the show that felt like scenarios that I would come up with playing with my action figures as a kid.
Yeah.
Like where you would have all the good guys get grouped up in the same area and then they would disperse and start fighting the bad guys, you know? Or like there are just so many
Oh,
moments.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Me
that
too.
reminds me of my action figures.
Yeah, like the mods doing spin moves to shoot people unnecessarily.
Stop.
Also, can we get just real quick some F's in the chat for the Gamorrean guards? That was just that'll be the only like spoiler I kind of want to touch on in this. F's in the chat, man. They deserve better. They got punked.
They really did. They did deserve better. It was
That
in
was
my opinion,
that was
a
the
bit
only
silly
that
that
was
everyone
one of
else-
the few scenes of the episode where I was genuinely like upset. I was just like, no, what you characters, man. Why'd you kill them boys? They didn't deserve that.
Exactly. Everybody else was in a situation.
I think everything
where
else.
they
I
could
really
get
enjoyed the finale. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed the finale. I thought it was great. It was definitely, like you said, one of those like moments where you could feel the sort of energy of got all your cool action figures together and you've got them like posing up, like literally my favorite shot of the whole episode is just Boba with the knee rocket up and just like doing the whole like stanced up pose. Like that was awesome to me. That was so funny. And as somebody who's working on a Boba Fett cosplay right now, it's like, oh, I'm so recreating that pose. Like every picture I take, don't even care. I think that's gonna be hilarious.
Nice.
Yep.
That'll be awesome.
I do gotta
I
say,
can't wait.
probably my
And-
favorite portion of the final episode is what my phone screen is right now. It's just, I love seeing Din and Boba together so much. It's one of the best things I feel like
Absolutely.
that came out of that show.
Oh, absolutely. And I loved their sort of conversation before the fight, or things that got real. Like Mando was so like ride or die, and he was just like, "Ah, I'm staying. Like I'm not leaving."
Oh
He's
yeah.
like, "This is," and then when he just goes, "This is the way," I was like, "Man is about to fight like an animal, like a beast out there." Because if you really think about it, Mando had nothing to lose. Like in his mind, Grogu wasn't coming back. He was kicked out of the Children of the Watch. Like he had nothing to lose. So he sort of like kind of a death wish. He was like, "Man, if I die, I die. I don't care. I've got nothing to live for. So I'm just gonna just go out Beskar blazing."
Yeah. Definitely reminded me of the scene in Rebels where Kanan is under the impression that the Inquisitor really just did kill Ezra. And he's like, well, you shouldn't have done that because now I have nothing left to fear.
I'm not afraid anymore. From the Home Alone
I
movie.
thought that was a good moment. of the
Oh
show.
man, that is definitely one of my top. That is probably my like third or second favorite scene in Rebels, next to like Kanan's death and like anything with the Bendu. Actually, no, Ahsoka versus Vader is my favorite Rebels.
I am the Bendu.
Ahsoka versus Vader, twins. That scene with Kanan and the Grand Inquisitor, and then like anything with the Bendu.
R.I.P. Kanan.
If Thrawn breathes in the scene, it's my favorite.
I don't like Thrawn as,
Yeah.
in the Rebels as much as I like him in the books.
Why?
Because he's two completely different characters, I feel
No.
like. I really feel like he is. In the books, it's like, okay, you can
No.
understand the method behind his madness because of what he's doing, but in Rebels, he's like, yes, kill them all. I hate people. Kill the rebels.
No, not necessarily. Sometimes, but not all the time.
I don't know.
I just feel because
There
in the
were a
books
couple
you,
scenes
you
where
get
he
the
definitely.
you get the luxury of being able to see like what's going on play by play, like as he's talking through it. Whereas you're not getting that point of view in Rebels, so it does make it a little bit more kind of like, oh, what's going on inside his head?
We shall discuss the loyalties to your empire, Admiral Mithronaldo.
What did you just say?
I don't know how to pronounce
It's
it.
Myth Ronaldo. Nice.
Mithron Yerodo.
My bad, bro.
The Chiss are so weird because they have three names. They got their core name, so they got basically his core name is Ron, and then he's got the Myth family, which he's a part of. So that's where he gets the Thrawn part. So it's Myth, and then Yerodo is just his blood family name. Chiss are so weird. Oh, you Chiss, you're so weird.
That's interesting. I actually didn't know that. I'm not very well versed in the Chiss culture, honestly, and like the Thrawn books. I just haven't had the time to read them as much as I would like to.
Well,
To
They're
give
gonna
them
be your
like,
favorite Star Wars books. They're gonna be your favorites when
It'll
you're done
be
reading them.
Kenobi. I'm not capping. They're that good.
They're so good. Timothy Zahn is a masterful
Okay.
writer. They're just fantastic.
that's what I've heard, and I've always been the type of person like if I'm gonna read a book, I want to give it the time it deserves and like take the time to sit down and read it. But like, I reread Kenobi a couple weeks ago, just on a whim, And the whole time I was reading this book, I was like, man, like this was fun. I remember sitting there and thinking to myself, oh man, it's like, 10:30. I got like 2 chapters left. I need to get ready to bed. And I'm like, one more chapter. And after that, one more chapter. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh man, that's such a good book. I finished it. I closed the book and it was like midnight.
Ah.
And I was like, oops.
Mm.
It was a Saturday night for Sunday, so I missed nothing. I just slept in.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
I remember one book that had me like that was the second book in the Maze Runner series. That one was really good. I remember, like, spoilers if you haven't read or seen the Maze Runner
I've seen the
series.
movies.
If you
Oh,
haven't,
Oops.
that's okay.
I'm about to spoil it. When Newt dies, I remember being in middle school, sitting in my bed at 2 a.m, just yeah, I was heartbroken. That was sad. I remember that, and I also remember I was in the middle of for like our high school. We had to do summer reading, and I had to read of Mice and Men. And I remember when I read the part where Lenny dies, I remember sitting in class holding back tears. I remember I was like, don't cry in front of everybody, because I was at the front of the class, so everybody would see it.
Man.
I was sitting there just like,
He deserved it.
I was willing myself.
What? Yo. Yo. All right. Banned from the stream. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
All right,
Accept
all right.
that.
Dude, Jackson
My
really got the hottest takes today.
And I get the Tendo Rabbit.
for real. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
oh no.
It's such a good book, though. It's one of those books I feel like is an essential for you to read to be a decent human being.
Absolutely. It was a great book. I remember reading it back in high school too, and like all of my friends and I, like, we finished it. We had to read it for class. I'm assuming you guys did too, where you
Yeah.
had to like break it down, like read chapters 1 to 3 and then 4 to 6, like that. So when I remember we got to the last chapter, like we all came to school like the day of like we had to talk about it, and we were like, dude, that book got dark. Like, where did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like for us, it was we had to read it over the summer, and then we had to come the first day of school with a finished project and turn it in. Because if you didn't, because the language arts teachers, I know they ain't watching this. They mean they were
we
super
prayed on your
mean.
downfall.
Like literally, you would, if you had one thing wrong, they'd be like,
You imbecile! How could you do this?
You fool. Yeah. My high school was weird in the sense that like they would always like put out for like summer reading. They'd like, get ready because there's gonna be a test on the first day. And like, first off, if you give a test on the first day of school after summer vacation, I'm sorry, 9th circle for you. Ridiculous.
Smoking.
Absolutely terrible.
Smoking and drinking.
Absolutely. But yeah, so absolutely not a fan of that. But like they would always like say that, and then like 2 weeks into like school, they would just be like, "Okay, guys, I know your project was supposed to be due on the first day, but like school's been going on for like a month now. We're still waiting," and it's just like you're not getting it.
I'm not doing it.
Like no, there are people that like would still never turn it in. Absolute insanity.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like, what was your guys' favorite book you like had to read for school?
Probably of Mice and Men.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that one was
I
really
would
good.
say the Aeneid. That is one of that literally
The what?
became one of my all-time favorite. The Aeneid.
The what?
The
The
Aeneid.
Aeneid. Aenied.
The Aeneid. The Aeneid.
That's
Oh
one of
my
them like classical books. Huh?
Basically, it's told from the perspective of the warriors of Troy, with Aeneas being the main character. I know these are hard words for you, Tom, so bear with me. This is about Aeneas and his journey of leading the Trojan people out of Troy to redemption. And it's just
Isn't
a
that part 2 of the Odyssey?
No. The Odyssey is told from a different perspective.
Yeah. Then what's the other? There's the Odyssey.
It
and
wasn't written by Homer.
No,
Homer wrote the Odyssey.
it's the Iliad and the Odyssey. That's what I was
Yes,
thinking.
Iliad and the Odyssey.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
No. But I honestly I don't like the Odyssey that much, and I don't really like a whole lot of the Greek mythology books because they're kind
What?
of stale and boring.
Jackson, I'm
sometimes.
convinced that this book doesn't actually exist. I've never heard of the.
No, the
It
Aeneid
was
is
in
not
Western
very
Classics. It was in Western Classics. You
Oh,
took that class.
Whoops. Well,
I took
evidently
the
you can tell I
class, do I
didn't pay
remember the
attention to that class.
Jeez. But no, it's a great book about like leadership and just like being a better person because there's so many occasions where like Aeneas can like leave all of his men behind and like do something. Yeah, it's written by Virgil. I forgot about that.
No,
What did
We're
you say?
at the fact check, pulling up Google.
I said written by Virgin.
Virgil. More like Virgil. What a loser.
$9. I ain't paying for that.
Nope.
How much is it?
9, 11, 12.
It's not that.
Dang, it just keeps going up.
It's not a long read. It's relatively short too, but it's really good. I'd recommend.
Yeah,
it.
it's only 1,200 pages.
Shut
It's a
up.
relatively quick read.
Oh,
it's only
that's like a
9,000
breeze. That's a breezy Sunday afternoon.
I've read longer books.
I have two. I have
The
two.
biggest book I read was The Farmer's Almanac for 2019.
Bro, people be out here not knowing what the Farmer's Almanac is. I had to explain that to someone the other day. I was like,
God, I
you
know.
don't know what the Farmer's Almanac is? The weather book for farming?
No, I have to say, I went to school in the deep south, so I think probably the hardest book I ever read was The Very Hungry Caterpillar. That was one of them.
I read that very. The hardest thing I had to read in the deep south was the McDonald's menu.
Dadgum, I can't decide if I want a number 2 or a number 12. Dadgum, them numbers are so small.
They're so small, can't see how much it cost.
Is it a Big Mac or a Little Mac? I can't decide. Dadgum,
The McChimpkin.
McChicken. What's that have to do with burgers? I thought this was a burger place.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, if I had to pick a high school book that I enjoyed reading was book we read like alone would have to be like The Great Gatsby. Like
I never got to read that. I heard it's good though.
The Great Gatsby is
it-
literally just a dude named B who has a gat.
no, The Great Gatsby is like the ode to simping, but it's all good because he's rich.
It is the ode to simping, actually.
It literally is like if you wanted like, hey, simp tier book, go for it.
Yeah.
That being
Jackson-
said, one of the classics. It is a good book. All jokes aside, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good
Will
read.
you plan on reading it?
Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
Probably not soon. You can
Well,
talk
because
about
basically at the end of
You
The
can
Great
talk about
Gatsby, The Great Gatsby gats himself at the end of the book. That's how it ends.
No, he gets gatted. He gets gatted.
Oh
down.
yeah, he does get gatted. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets
For what?
and like
For simping.
it. Over a chick.
yeah. So basically the and you could watch the movie too. I think it's got Leonardo DiCaprio and the original Spider-Man in it. Tobey Maguire.
Yep, Leonardo DiCaprio. Yep, he's
And
phenomenal.
Tobey Maguire's in the new movie. We had to watch the old one in English class because of my English teacher was a huge like Robert Redford fan.
Mhm.
So he's in the original. It was pretty good. I gotta say, but we're like when she said, "Oh, we're watching the movie," we're like, "Yes, Leonardo DiCaprio," and they're like, "No, Robert Redford's like who?"
No!
Oh, you mean the old guy in Captain America: The Winter Soldier that gets gunned down by Black Widow?
Hey,
Just
at
kidding.
least if you had to watch,
Felt like it's Candyman, is all I gotta say.
at least if you had to read Romeo and Juliet, most of your high school teachers are going to show you the good version of that movie. You already know the vibe. You already know what I mean.
Hey yo, we all talk about Romeo and Juliet, the DreamWorks classic.
You know
Yeah,
it. You
that's
know
the vibe.
it. Classic.
Yes, sir.
Classic.
Not with the G string. That's the best one.
The absolute. So my friends and I used to joke around that any like bad movie we used to call it we thought we were film critics, so any bad movie we would call Kino, like just absolute like best movie. So we'd be like, oh bro, that's straight up Kino, man. We didn't know what it meant. It's literally German for movie. Like we thought we were so smart.
Let me keep it $1.50 with you, dude. I thought you were saying that was I thought that was chemo. I was like, whoa.
No. Kino, Kino. It's literally German for movie, but like I
Oh,
saw
it's
somewhere on
game.
some like
Yeah.
online
right.
group where people were just like, "Oh man, that's a straight Kino." I was like, "I'm stealing this and making it my whole personality." I was insufferable.
My German teacher would kill me. I totally forgot that Kino was movie.
Yep.
That's okay.
Only reason I remembered that Call of Duty Zombies, and they say you can't learn anything from video games.
Fair
Shout
enough.
out.
I learned that bullets can kill you. That's what I learned through the video game.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I learned that if you ain't got good internet, don't even play the game because you will lose.
Perhaps.
But hey, listen, it's all the other guy's fault. He's got a lag switch. He's got aimbot. It's not my fault. It's not my
All right.
fault. We have the slight upgrade from dial-up.
I gotta make this point, and I'll just keep it at this, just because you mentioned video games. It made me think of this because I wanted to mention it to y'all. I'm in a class because I also minor in religion, so I'm taking a class solely focused on violence within religion and why people do like harmful things. And so I was literally reading right before I came here, text talking about, huh?
We don't think about the big three. We don't talk about religion, politics, or the Great Pumpkin. And you're riding one of them lines real thin right
No,
now.
hold on. But all I was gonna say was that it was trying to make the point that people are naturally violent and then use Fortnite as the example. And I'm not kidding you when I say it was 3 pages talking about how Fortnite may have radicalized our youth into war. But that's all I'm going to say.
It did. They building too fast.
They're building too
Yeah,
fast.
they're
It's not
building
fun
too
to play.
fast.
Everybody knows that in wartime you have to if the bad guys start pewing at you, you just have to start pull out your map and just build a 5-star hotel with Wi-Fi and they can't get in.
That's why if you're playing with controller, use LT and then you just spin around, spam LT, just to make the walls around you so that you can make the fortress up. That's how you build quick.
See, I don't play Fortnite.
Oh, really?
I played for like a week or two when it was like when they had like the Tommy gun in the game, and then it became like cool to hate on the game. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna bounce. I'm gonna keep playing Battlefront 2. You know, a real video game.
What do you play Battlefront on?
Xbox One.
That's the correct answer.
That is the correct answer.
Absolutely.
If you said PlayStation, we would have bounced.
See,
Hey,
if you join our Discord,
If you join the Discord,
You join that Discord.
if you join that Discord,
Hey.
yeah.
We have a
I
Star
might-
Wars
I might
games
have to.
channel.
So my Xbox One's at my parents' house, so I haven't played in a while. But I was pretty good with it after a while.
Good game. Very fun game.
I think I maxed out. What was the character I maxed out? I maxed out Kylo Ren, and I think I maxed out either Obi-Wan or Anakin,
You maxed out a character.
or almost maxed out. Like, I mean, actually, no, not maxed out. I mean, like all purple star cards. I think it was.
Oh my goodness. I was like,
Yeah,
You got
no,
level
I'm not that big of a
1,000?
sweat.
Do you have level
I'm not that
1,000?
big of a
I don't have anything level 1,000 now.
What's your closest?
my
My
closest?
assault class in the game is like level, I think 500 or 600 something.
Yeah, my heavy was pretty high. I either mained assault or heavy because I can't snipe for diddly squat, and the only time I use officer is at the beginning to get that like buff bonus.
So Dylan, I have a couple questions for you.
Go ahead.
So first of all, your connection is tremendously better than it was.
that is
So-
facts.
Yeah, so I think what happened was my internet was like, whoa, you're streaming to YouTube and Twitch. Gotta pick one. So I was just like, we didn't have any Twitch viewers, so I just said end broadcast. So
Yeah, that was
I'll have
probably.
to find a way to like signal boost better or something like that. Also, my laptop's kind of old, so
Don't feel bad because there's a reason that our brand is being called the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe, because when we started, because you guys just started your podcast like a few weeks ago, right?
we started back in December 2021, but it was
Yeah.
kind of like we recorded these like long form like videos, and it was just kind of like, this is cool, but like we weren't getting like number one, we were super small. It was like trying to promote where we could, but like, And my sister had a really good point because she was just like, I want to watch your channel just to kind of make fun of you, but your videos are too long. I've got a fun little sister. She picks at me all the time. She and her friends were in my chat last night, like just blowing it up.
Nice.
I should have known too when an account named Star Wars Lover 69 shows up and is asking me like if The Rock is my favorite, who would The Rock be? And who's my favorite Star Wars character and why is it Adam Sandler? Like just jokes like that. I should have known, but I was kind of like distracted. My sister's hilarious. She is so funny.
That's sick for
That's
you.
fair, dude. That's good. I have a really good relationship with all three of my siblings. I'm the oldest of four, so I completely get it. But what are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
Anyways, no, but weren't you on Lightsaber Radio? Like
I was.
Okay,
I was.
that's where I recognized you from because I knew I recognized you from somewhere, and I've been keeping up with Lightsaber Radio pretty much since the Book of Boba Fett started.
Yeah, I
And,
think I was their
like,
last.
consistently.
I was the guest like right after you guys.
Yeah, and I knew I recognized you from somewhere because you're like all over their stuff, right?
Oh yeah, no, they're a lot of fun. So I sort of met Charlie through cosplay and then also CJ. So kind of when they started doing their live shows, I was like, hey, I'm free Saturday mornings. I'll pop in and show some support. And just was absolutely won over by how hilarious they are.
They're
Like,
pretty fun.
they're such a fun group. I don't always agree with everything they say, but nobody will ever agree with everything anyone says. And they're pretty big Legends fans too, so like it's good to hear that perspective. Because I know a lot about canon. I knew a bit about Legends, but my Legends knowledge, if you quiz me on Darth Bane, I would just throw my hands up and say, nope, I know nothing.
Mhm.
Like he's ruler 2. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I choose to know nothing about Legends.
I agree.
I grew up like reading certain like Dark Horse comics and like I grew up with some Legends projects when it was still called the Expanded Universe. But
Yeah.
like I look at it now and it's like
Kind of a mess.
yeah, like it is a mess and it's literally a Star Wars multiverse because there's so many different versions of the same timeline over and over again and none of it was ever canon. So that's why I get like confused when people get so angry about Disney changing the name from the Expanded Universe to Legends because it's like, well, none of it was ever canon, and I don't know, I don't see the big deal. But yeah, I
Absolutely.
choose not to know anything about it because it's not relevant to the current canon.
Mhm.
So why should I have to know anything about it?
And like, yeah, is it cool to see like previous like Legends characters showing up in canon? Absolutely. I think that's really cool to kind of bridge it. But also I think of it like this. Like these are Legends are like the stories that like citizens of the galaxy tell.
Exactly.
And I think, there's always those like references to like when Ahsoka's like, there's always a bit of truth in Legends. It's like, yeah, there's definitely like truth and stuff you can draw from those Legends stories. Like I love Kenobi, but it is a straight up Legends story. Like, and you can't remove the Legends elements from that story without it, and it still kind of makes sense. Like, for example, there's a mention of Sharad Het, who was a Tusken Jedi. Literally all I know about him. And his son became like Darth Krayt for some reason. He lived for like 1,000+ years because Legends did stuff like that. Just like, hey, cool. This character can live through 1,000 years because he sucked the life force out of people. And it's like, cool. I don't care. And then you have like, you get it's like, oh, you have these like massively powerful characters like what's the scary clickbait chick that everybody uses for their videos.
Wow.
The like
No,
who?
Are you talking about the Twi'lek?
no,
chick?
it's literally
No,
like
not-
she looks like a zombie almost.
Yeah, she's like a soul. I think Abeloth. Abeloth is her name.
Abeloth, that's her
Oh.
name.
Yeah,
Yep.
but everyone's like, oh, Abeloth, the scariest thing in Star Wars. It's just like she's only scary because she's literally broken. Like.
Oh, yeah, her. Oh, yeah,
She-
that.
She's all she is for those who don't know. She's basically like the mother of the Mortis gods from Clone Wars. So they were just like, hey, this is a ruin it, and they take so you have the father, the son, and the daughter, and then they adopt like a mortal woman. She like jumps in like the pit of the light and dark side and becomes like corrupted and just pure like evil. And they like bury her on like a star, and then she comes out, and it's just really not interesting. Because
Dude,
after
and
a while,
that's the point.
Yep.
and
That's the point,
It
is, like-
kind of loses its stakes after a while. It's just like when you have characters that can devour whole planets, it cheapens the impact of like later things. Like people get mad about force healing in canon, like, oh, Rey can force heal. Like that is nothing. So I have one of the books that's like one of the later like Jedi trilogy after Abeloth, after everything. It's there's like Luke has this force power that him and Leia have, where they literally like take a nap and they fully heal like their injuries. It's like a force trance or something like that. And it's literally like the dumbest thing ever because it's like, oh, okay, this character can't get hurt. Like, oh no, you shot me. Let me just take a
Take a
force
nap.
nap. And oh, look, I'm good now. And now I've chopped your head off.
Yeah. I
Because
remember I had
everybody's
a
got a
bunch of-
lightsaber.
Yeah. I had a legend book or two, and I was just never really into reading them. I have a bunch in my room right now that I'm actually just trying to donate. But like, I totally agree. It's not interesting, and I don't care to learn any of the lore because at the end of the day, when we talk about Star Wars, I'd want to talk about accurate Star Wars, not legends. Because I'm on TikTok a whole lot as well, and that's all I see are people talking about, well, we know this about the Star Wars universe because of legends. I'm like, and I just swipe away from it
Yeah.
immediately because I'm like, well, that isn't true.
It's like
Because
you're
in
an
the end,
unreliable.
it isn't.
Yeah. So sorry to kind of cut you off there.
Yeah.
But they sort of become an unreliable source where it's just like well in legends this happened. It's like that doesn't matter. We're not in legends anymore. We're in the canon. And
Exactly.
are there elements of legends that come into canon? Yeah. Is that cool? Absolutely. But when you take those aspects that are like I would never want to see Abeloth in canon. I
No,
would
no.
never. Like I was
Okay.
like, okay, it's done. All done. Retired. Moving to Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's even like a Legends like Clone Wars book that a lot of people are picking up now. Like Rex is on the cover and whatnot.
That's a canon Clone Wars book that you're thinking of. And it's just a 501st
Kicks
sticker.
on the front.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Kick. Oh, that is canon.
Yes.
Never mind.
Oh yeah, the one with where Kix where he survives to the sequel era. I think it is.
Yeah.
Because he gets like frozen in carbonite or something.
Hey, boy, hey, I haven't read it yet. No spoilers.
I
Oh,
just wanted
spoiler.
to just more than-
Hey, no spoilers.
Spoiler.
Yes,
Anyway, but yeah, and like if those books are like part of your, and I think that's also to tie it back to Book of Boba Fett a little bit. I think that's where some people sort of got their distaste for the show because in their mind, Boba Fett is like the Mandalore, and Boba Fett is like, you know, all of this stuff that didn't happen, and so they're judging the canon character based on the merits of the Legends character. And same thing kind of happened to Luke, where they were just like, oh, Luke is nothing in The Last Jedi like canon. It's like, okay. But like Legends Luke was kind of boring. He was just kind of overpowered to the point of like, he's like a 65-year-old man doing like triple double backflips, you know, force choking out gods and like fighting 6 Sith Lords with his son, whose name is Ben. Like that's the only cool part about Legends. Like, oh, he named his son Ben. Guess what? It's canon now because Ben Solo. Cool.
Yeah, I think that's something that we've consistently hit on our show with the Book of Boba Fett is just this concept that everything that people know about Boba Fett or think they know about Boba Fett
Is raw.
comes from Legends material, whether that be a comic book, a video game, or a novel. Everything they think they know about Boba Fett is not true to the current canon. And truth be told, seeing Boba do what he did in the finale of the show was absolutely amazing because we've never seen it on screen.
Yeah.
We've never seen Boba be a badass to that level on the screen before. And then you finally get to see it, and the payoff is so amazing. It's just there.
Yeah.
Like that was
Absolutely.
truly amazing.
Like I think our second episode was on Book of Boba Fett, episode 1, where like a lot of people were like sort of smack talking the episode and saying like, "Oh, this isn't Boba Fett. Like, why was he so badass in the Mandalorian and like this and that?" Like, I was so I don't want to say upset because like at the end of the day it's Star Wars, but I was kind of just like, really, you guys are judging a 7-episode show off of 1 episode. So I literally made like a giant PowerPoint presentation and like went through the show, just like clicking through points. And it's up on our YouTube if you guys want to watch it. It is a little long because I got a little long winded, but it was just like I was pissed because I was like, you guys are judging an unfinished product. Like I think I said something along the lines of like, you're judging a 7-course meal off of the entree, or like, oh no, not the entree, the appetizer. Like you're judging a meal based off the appetizer. And like personally, I thought the appetizer was great and it made sense in universe. Because like people want Boba Fett to be this indestructible like titan of killing Jedi and flamethrower out the wrist, and like, is it cool to see once in a while? Yeah. But all the time, sleep.
Yeah.
I think
agree.
people wanted the series just to be like John Wick, like 24/7 action. I'm kind of glad they didn't. Save it for something else.
Exactly. And like, because here's the thing. And so say alternate timeline, you know, we got a Boba Fett show where it was literally Boba Fett, but John Wick, but Boba Fett. You know how many people would have complained and they would have said like, oh, you know, this is dumb, this is stupid, you know, where's the character development?
Yeah.
Like so literally Star Wars fans are unpleasable. And hey, that's cool. I just choose to enjoy it.
I think we could say that we are relatively pleased.
I
Yeah.
was pleased. I thought it was awesome.
I think the show, and that's the thing, is I just don't bother with those people, the negative people, because they just want to complain because that's what gets you views on the internet.
Absolutely.
And that's what gets more attention, is getting the people to argue with you. And so because of that, I just stopped engaging with those people. And then like on top of that, like we have a podcast where we have like a small community of positive people that we surround ourselves with. It makes being a Star Wars fan so much more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes it so much easier to just completely disconnect from all the negativity. I just don't bother with it anymore. And if I do, it's me making fun of it instead of getting like actually upset about it.
Unless it's Hasbro, then we get mad.
Unless it's
Absolutely. And I mean, to be fair, there's a difference between like engaging with like a fan who is like somebody who's on sort of, I don't want to say the same like level as you, but like at the end of the day, Disney listens to the fans just about as much as they listen to like a brick wall. Like, they're not going to listen to ultimately like what we say, what the negative fans say, unless it's Rise of Skywalker, where they try to please everybody and fail miserably. But hey, that's all good. It's all good and well. They tried to do something, it didn't work, and I think they learned from that. You can't please those loud, upset that small group of fans where they're just going to complain about everything. And at the end of the day, who cares? Who cares what they have to say? They're upset. I talk about this a little bit on our show as well, where I sort of ran in those fan circles for a while, especially like post Last Jedi, where like, you know, I was upset the movie didn't go the way I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran in these circles of people that were just like, you know, sending those comforting things to me, just like, oh yeah, you know, the movie's actually terrible if you think about it. And like, you know, I'm not going to go into the full brunt of it just because I don't like giving that my energy anymore. But literally, like, I just saw myself like deteriorating. I was unhappy as a person. I was angry more frequently over like little things that didn't necessarily matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I stopped running in those circles, like this weight was just lifted off of my shoulders. And like, I found, honestly, who kind of saved me was who you guys had on your show, and I'm insanely like envious of, was Rexing Around. To find a absolutely positive fan community of people who are like genuinely happy to talk Star Wars, and like that completely changed my perspective because at the time the whole discourse was negative. So to see that beacon of positivity and to go, hey, these are people talking about what they like, and they just say, hey, I don't like it, and they move on. That's where I'm giving my attention. And shoot, changed me for the better. He's part of the reason I started this podcast. Him and Lightsaber Radio are like the real reason I started this.
Yeah.
So,
One of the big reasons for us is Rexing around just because of how overly positive he is. It's a nice breath of fresh air compared to a lot of major Star Wars creators nowadays. Because hating on things gets clicks. And that's just a fact. If you hate on something, people are gonna watch it because they like to see somebody get upset and they like to see somebody's hot takes. But nobody likes to see anybody that just genuinely enjoys anything anymore. So that's why Rexing Around's cool, because he's so big and he's always positive. If there is something that he complains about, it's usually just like a nitpick or something small. But
absolutely.
yeah, Rexing's cool.
Yeah.
He was like probably one of my favorite people to talk to on the podcast, just because I was a fan of him for so long. Plus, me and him are kind of both slightly scatterbrained, so he'd just be like, the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. He's so fun and such a amazing like person. Like I've chatted with him like in like DMs before, and like what's great about him is that he's not like a false person. Like the person you see on the podcast is the person you communicate with and interact with, and like I like send him like messages, like replies to his stories, and just be like, and he'll like talk back with people, and he to the best of his ability fosters a community like in a small community like mine, and I'm sure you guys have a lot bigger reach than I do. So, but I mean, you guys just passed like 300 subs?
Yeah.
I was actually. Oh, my bad. You go.
Love Charger. You're not gonna be able to talk to everybody, but I think that's okay because like at the end of the day, you talk to who you can, and you try to like foster a community of people that are reflective of what you say. So
Yeah, I will say, just like being on the internet and like I can totally like I always before like we started podcasting at like if I sent like a creator a message and they like wouldn't reply or they would just open it and not say anything, I always used to get like offended by that. But now it's like when like having that aside from the Discord, which is more like a group chat that you have, but you can constantly just check whenever you want because there's always people replying to each other. We're all really busy people.
Yeah.
And so getting the time to like do episodes with other creators and like, have interviews and do different things like that has proven to be like more and more difficult as we've grown.
Yeah.
And we only have 300 subscribers. Like that's not much comparatively to like big creators. And like, even just from that, like we'll get like 2 or 3 texts like in a day, like just from different people. And it's like, the nice thing is there's 3 of us that can like all reply to people at the same time. So it makes our response is a little bit more accessible to people, but it also is like there have been times where not all of us have been able to be present for guest episodes and like when we've been on other people's shows and stuff like that. So I've definitely gained an appreciation for that. And when we're on other people's shows, like in this instance, I do try to give like my best energy and give my best thoughts to the table, because I know that if I had someone as a guest on the show and they were just kind of like half-assing being on the show, like, dude, everybody's tired. Like everyone has a bunch of stuff going on, and like, it's just disrespectful if you, in my opinion, if you like just kind of are just there and just existing. So I always just try to, give my all. But I can totally see how difficult it is for creators to do that. And it only gets harder as you get bigger. So yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, like, I thank you guys so much for coming on, because this has been so fun. Like, even like you said, like my co-host couldn't make it tonight. He had prior obligations, and he told me last night, he's like, sorry, dude, I can't make it. And I'm like, hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
He said, I might be able to later but I don't know. And I said, listen, dude, don't worry. Like, it's fine. Because at the end of the day, we're all people and we all have lives. Like I'm not a full-time content creator, and you guys aren't either. You guys are like what? You guys are all college students, right?
Yes, we are.
yeah, I just graduated last year, and it was like a whirlwind. I was like, oh crap, now what do I do? Like what year are you guys?
Sophomore.
I'm in my third year.
Yeah.
First.
So-
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Right.
college is great, and what's awesome about you guys is that you guys have such a great energy you bring to your show and to your community, and it's so fun to be a part of. Like, I started watching you guys after you were on Lightsaber Radio because I thought you guys were absolutely hilarious, and I was like, hey, you know, I try to support as many people as I can, like especially with Instagram, because Instagram is not being my friend lately. I think I was a shadow ban hammered for a little bit because I posted so frequently. They were just like, "Hey, bonk your reach." They're like, "Bonk your reach," and I was just like, "Oh, okay." If I would, and like the only reason I was posting is because I was like, I got hit with this wave of passion where I was just like, I'm gonna discuss Book of Boba Fett, and I'm gonna, post like a reel a day. Sometimes I was posting like 2 reels a day, because I was just so passionate and I had so much content that I didn't want to lose. So I was just like, put it out there. I don't care how it does. Because at the end of the day, I joined it for self-expression, and I joined it to connect with other people and other fans. So like, for example, Charlie, I never would have met Charlie if I didn't put myself out there and start making, lightsaber spinning videos. And like, I remember like Charlie's first message to me was like, dude, your saber skills are like really cool. I was like, someone like watches my videos and thinks I'm good. Like, and what's crazy is you look at yourself and like, dang, I'm kind of like, this is fun, but I kind of suck. And so to see somebody else come on and be like, hey, you're really good. And to kind of give you that validation gives you the energy to keep going. You're just like, hey, this is cool. I'm going to keep at this.
Exactly. It's definitely a pleasure to do this. I mean, we have so much fun, and that's why we put so much heart into it as well.
Yes.
Because again, we've definitely had people on for have a chats, and we won't name names, but we've had people come on that have literally just half-assed to have a chat with us and then logged off, and then like that was it. And so many people really put on like that facade of just like, I'm like a really happy, cheery
Like,
person.
Hey, guy, like for their videos, like, this is awesome. I'm a really happy guy, and then they like, and then,
I'm so happy.
and then one-on-one, they're like, so are we getting started or what? And they're like,
Exactly. And I feel like this is even better for us doing it live, because this kind of shows it's more, I don't know, like organic for us. And it's not us like, oh no, like we need to plan jokes and whatnot as well. We just be ourselves for the episodes. And that's what
Absolutely.
we've always wanted to do is
Jackson, you're
make-
bleeding on your upper lip.
No, really?
Like just it's not like dripping. It's just like on your
Man,
I'm
you're
trying
bleeding,
to like
get
you're
it.
actually bleeding.
I'm trying to put
no. I'm trying to put your
You
finger on it.
all right?
There you go.
Oh.
he's like,
Yeah, it's just like
You sneak this to the creator. You start. They sort of voodooing you.
My bad.
you got a little schmutz on you. Let me get it.
But no, this is great. I love the live show kind of format just because we did the pre-recorded videos and they were fun, but it was just kind of after a while, it was just kind of just like, it's a lot harder to come together and just be like, hey, we're gonna record this video that like, we don't have any feedback. It's really nice to have like feedback and to have like the chat going. So absolutely love seeing chat and seeing people like talk. Like that's what gets me going and like sort of drives me a little bit is to get that interaction with other people who are passionate about what I'm passionate about.
Yeah,
So
that's what we like. We did a live show for one of the first times on Monday. Like just had a live stream. One of our previous guests who we're like really good friends with now, Skywalker Hendricks.
Shout out to Skywalker Hendricks.
Shout out to the homie.
He like just reached out to us and was like, "Hey, we should do a live stream sometime." So we were like, "Sure, we'll try it." So we just like did a live stream Monday night, and it was so much fun. We had a blast. But
It's kind of
yeah,
crazy that this is our third time recording this week.
I know this is our third time recording this week, which is a lot.
I know this is my second, and I was kind of shocked. Like I had somebody message me last night, like, "Hey, do you want to do a live show Friday?" And I was like, "I would say yes, but I have work. But I want to say yes, but I just know that when I get back, I'm not gonna be like authentic. I would just kind of be like faking it, and we'd do like a 30-minute stream, and I would just be like, Okay, good night.
Yeah.
And just
And that's,
crash right after.
That's the other thing is like editing. Like when you were talking about doing pre-recorded shows and editing them, I'll put probably between like 5 and 8 hours into just editing a weekly podcast episode between like, because watching it all the way through, making sure everything matches up, like the audio with the video, and then putting in pictures and like putting in like timestamps, writing out a description. Like I love doing it. I love doing every part of it. But you definitely have to have the commitment for it. Like there's, I mean, and if live shows are easier for you, then do live shows. Like I think a lot of people think like, oh, I'm going to do a podcast. Like, let me just like get all the best equipment and do all the best stuff right away. But like, no, like realistically, you have to do what's best for you and your situation. And again, we're lucky because there's 3 of us and we're in the same physical space whenever we record the show. So we can literally share, like we can split money when we buy equipment.
Yep.
We can do all kinds of things.
And
Whereas
we
like
just have equipment for just one set. So we have
Yeah.
this set, and then we have like one camera that we need, and then we have lights that, by the grace of our friend Corey, were gifted to us. So we have studio lighting that was like basically free. So it's like really all we have to worry about is the main collection as a set piece, and then the audio, which was just a couple mics. But there's always like room for improvement. But for where we are right now, I don't really think that we need to do too much improving.
yeah, I think that too.
No, I
It's
think
like
you guys have kind of found your groove, and you guys are really like enjoying the process too. Like
yes,
every time I watch an episode, I love leaving a comment on your guys' stuff because it's genuinely hilarious. My only problem is I don't wait till the end to comment, and I have like every time I'm like watching it, I like think of something new, and I'm just like I'm gonna be annoying as hell if I keep commenting over and over and over again, like.
Nah, man.
like-
The more feedback we get, and the more you comment on stuff, the more likely we'll be pushed onto people's recommended pages.
That's fact.
Comment it
Okay,
up.
so my ADHD brain is gonna go crazy and just be like random shit, just like it's like ha ha ha, ha Black Series Rancor again.
yeah, no, like that's like we like the interaction. If you
Yeah.
want to comment
Yeah.
20 times on a video, then comment 20 times on a video. Like we'll get
and
to you.
then I
We'll
and then I
answer.
get banned for being a bot.
Yeah.
And then I get banned.
We
They think
never
I'm a bot.
reply. It's only because
Bot.
we honestly never saw the notification.
Yeah,
We were-
sometimes
Oh,
YouTube.
Or
absolutely.
it's for a reason. But other
Oh,
than that-
absolutely. So like my YouTube is set up on my laptop, but
Mhm.
like I have a work laptop and I have my phone and I like run Instagram and like so I run my personal page and then I also run the Under the Helmet page. So like running both of those like pages is fun and I love it and it's a hobby. But there's definitely times where like I'll sit down on the couch on like a Sunday night and be like, I haven't posted anything on Under the Helmet in like 3 days. Oops. So anybody who's Under the Helmet and follows my Instagram page, I'll try to get better at posting. The only problem is I have such a hard time like finding stuff to post because I don't want people to start liking the page thinking it's like a meme page. But I do post memes every now and then, like stuff I find particularly funny and want to share. I'll post a meme. But like after a while, it just gets frustrating because it's just like, okay, this is burning me out a little bit. So then I'll go to my page and make a goofy video about Boba Fett haters. Switch it up.
You know the vibes. You know the
Yeah.
vibes.
You know the vibes, absolutely. Hey, Quentin Mims, how's it going?
Quentin,
Oh, it's your
he
boy.
was on our last stream.
That's one of ours.
Hey.
Oh.
And then also, I had it up on stream for a minute, but Ben Taylor said, "OMG, is it the real Din Djarin? We'll never know. He's not taking his helmet off."
Ooh, no.
Flawed significant face review. But yeah, so I think we're about ready time to wrap it up here. So you guys have any final thoughts you want to close on?
I'm gonna hit you with the rapid fire questions that we love to hit our Have a Chat
No,
guests
wait,
with.
do you want to say that for his Have a Chat? Though?
Oh, right.
we should.
Wait, have we even asked him yet?
I think we've mentioned it briefly. I'll answer a couple though.
Yeah. Well,
Because I
okay.
thought you scheduled him. That's why I asked.
Okay, so I basically like
Okay.
I have like a mental list and then like a written list of all the people that I'm like planning to have. Like we have an order that we're gonna have for Have a Chat guests. I'm almost positive I talked to you about it, didn't I?
We definitely mentioned it very
Okay, good.
briefly. I think we were so caught up in planning this one. I think Have a Chat kind of got knocked by the wayside, but
Okay.
I'm definitely down for that. I'm excited for that episode.
We can get you for that.
You'll be there. We'll get you in. But
Oh, I will
I'll
be
let
there.
you. I'll send you the details on that. So if you're watching this now, be ready.
Be ready.
Be ready.
Be ready. Be ready.
Be ready.
Be-
Be watching all the time. The government's watching you, and we're
The
watching. you
government's
too.
watching. The government's watching. Be
Big
ready.
Brother's watching.
To all my baby girls out there, I love reading your comments. I'd be stalking and lurking when you least expect it.
I'll be following your page. I do that too. When I have like somebody new that like likes one of my or comments on one of my things that I've never seen before, I'll just be like,
Yeah.
I'm looking at your page now.
Yeah, I always do that. Like recently we had a TikTok that has been blowing up that we did of just me and Tommy dancing in a Boba and Mando helmet. And it's skyrocketed in its views and tons of people are commenting on it. So I always check the comments and see like what type of people are watching our TikTok. I find it interesting.
I did want to say too, when we did our live stream on Monday night, there was a Star Wars Black Series YouTuber who has like a few thousand subscribers, like just joined the stream. We've never talked to him before. And we were just like going through the chat messages and I just go, oh, hey, we've never seen you before. Join the Discord. Anyways. And then like just disregarded him. And
Oh,
then,
man,
we
that's
go back
hilarious.
later. It was so funny.
After the fact, I was like, uh-oh.
Just like, dang, treated him like a fan.
Yeah.
But it's okay because now he's also on the list for a Have a Chat episode.
Yeah.
So
Hey, everything happens for a reason, man. I fully believe in that. So
indeed it does.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with that, well, I'll save our rapid fire questions for you later. But yeah, there's our TikTok that we did.
I did not have TikTok, so I missed that video, but I'm gonna have to make an account.
We post usually just like podcast clips on there, but we were at work one day and we decided to wear our helmets because it was a slow day at the office. So we were like, nobody's really going to come in. Why don't we just kind of mess around? So we had those and we might kind of make it like a weekly occurrence maybe, because why not? It'd be fun.
Once management gets mad.
Forget the management. We don't care about them. Anyway,
Just like-
but yeah, we'll save our rapid fire questions for you for our Have a Chat episode.
All right. Alrighty, so I'll say with that, thank you guys so much for coming on. It was awesome. I had an absolute blast. Hopefully, whenever we do have a chat, we can get Eli, my co-host, on.
That'll be
It
nice.
just all really depends on his work schedule. He's sort of in entertainment industry, so he works a lot of weekends.
Oh,
But we'll definitely try to get him on there. Just depending. I'm typically free on weekends, but I'll definitely let you guys know.
Okay.
yeah, sweet. Sounds good.
So with that being said, thank you for everybody for coming out. This was a great episode. I had a lot of fun. I hope to see a lot of you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. All that YouTuber stuff. Also, don't forget, if you're not already, like, comment, share, and subscribe. 1313 Podcast. You guys are awesome. So much fun. I'm really looking forward to your Have a Chat with Lightsaber Radio. That's going to be an absolute ball.
It's gonna be fun. Comes out Thursday.
Comes out Thursday.
Thursday. Thoroughly excited. And with that, thank you, and we hope to see you again under the helmet.